two pillars and three treasures. This being the representation of love, understanding, honesty, protection, and trust, within a beautiful family nucleus. In simple words, a humble family where unconditional love was never lacking, since it was always present for Maria, who instilled it in her children from a young age. As time went by, Maria was diagnosed with a very dangerous and sad disease called cancer. Although Alejandro, her husband, and her three children supported her, unfortunately, 3 months after her treatment, she died. This situation was a very hard blow for the four members of the family unit since they had lost someone very important to them. They were all very attached to their mother. However, one of the most affected was her eldest son, Alexis. Sometime after Maria's death, Alexis was already beginning the high school stage and her sisters were middle school students. Alexis, nicknamed El Chino, was a very disciplined and responsible student at school. But when he entered the high school environment, the values disappeared. El Chino cut classes, didn't respect his teachers, his friends were drug users, and Alexis also used them. One day, the school principal called Alexis' father, nicknamed Alejo, and they told him that they would quote him to have a very serious conversation about his son's behavior at school. Alejo agreed, and when Alexis arrived from school, his father confronted him.
Hello, Alexis.
Hey, Dad.
Let's talk urgently.
Did something happen?
The principal of your school called me and talked to me about your behavior you're having at school.
What do you want me to do?
Don't answer me that way. Tell me what happened.
Nothing has happened at school.
Well, the director called me for a reason. It's not going to be a joke.
Oh, what do you want care about what I do in school?
Do you know what? Go and lock yourself in your room and don't go outside. Eventually out.
Alexis entered his room and closed the door. His father was very upset about the situation. On the other hand, his daughters, Paula and Dana, very intelligent girls and mature enough for their young age, asked their dad what had happened.
Dad, what happened to Alexis?
Nothing, daughter, just a small problem.
It's impossible. You are too obsessed, so that is just a small problem.
I agree with Dana.
Don't worry, it's just a more problem that I solve tomorrow at school.
Dad, Paula and I need you to calm down so that you can solve Alex's problem.
Yes, you must calm down a little and wait for the anger to subside so you can talk better with Alexis.
Okay, I'm going to follow your advice, but now go to your room and prepare the clothes for tomorrow.
The girls went to their room, prepared the school clothes for the next day, and went to bed. About 8:30 in the morning, Alejo arrived at the school where El Chino was and went to the room where the meeting was, and the director was already waiting for him.
Good morning. Are you Alexis' father?
Yes, I am Alexis.
Welcome. The pleasure is mine.
What is the purpose of this meeting?
The purpose of this meeting is to discuss your child's behavior. I don't know if you have already noticed, but your child has disrespected many teachers and has been caught doing multiple types of drugs in the school.
Alejandro was perplexed, sitting in the chair in front of the director's desk.
Everything. Your son has even lowered his grades significantly due to these bad actions. I wanted to ask you, is there any type of harm in your hospital?
Director, I'm in charge. And the reality is that I feel very embarrassed because I have been always taught to my son to be a better person who is of benefit of the society. In fact, absolutely nothing has happened in our home after his mother died.
I'm sorry, but I'm very sorry for what I'm about to tell you. But your son is going to be expelled from the school. We do not accept the behavior that Alexis and his school.
Sorry for the inconvenience. If you give Alexis a second chance, he won't miss it.
I'm sorry, but I don't know what to do.
Okay, sorry for this whole situation. Thank you for everything.
Again, I'm very sorry.
See you.
With great shame, Alejo left the room. At around 3:20 in the afternoon, Dana, Paula, and Alexis arrived from school, and her father spoke seriously with Alexis. Alejo scolded his son for having irresponsibly missed classes, for being a malcriado at school with his teachers, and told him that the principal had expelled him from school forever. Finally, he ordered him to enter his room. While Alexis was expelled from his school, he stayed at home doing nothing. One day, Dana and Paula were watching social media and a report appeared that said,
The powerful Category 3 Hurricane George is entering the Caribbean area, reaching substantial winds of 115 miles per hour. It's impossible for the hurricane not to pass through the island, which is why we all must be prepared for this hurricane. George will be making landfall tomorrow at 3 in the morning. Please don't leave your homes and avoid all kinds of inconveniences.
We need to talk with Dad.
Dad, I need to say you something urgently. Say Dana. What happened, Dana? Say Alejo. I see on Instagram a report about a hurricane that will pass tomorrow to the island. Say Dana. Oh my god, we have to prepare us. Say Alejo. Yes, we need to prepare everything, say Dana. Check that all canned foods are not expired, say Alejo. Okay, I'm gonna make that with Paula, say Dana. See you in the house, say Alejo. Immediately, Dana and Paula ran home to check the food and prepare the house. Although they knew that Alexis' attitude was insupportable, they told him,
Nene, don't you play to help at all.
Sure, you're very comfortable. Come and help us.
Nah, say Alexis. Paula and Dana were not going to waste their time arguing with the immature Alexis, so they continued executing their family plan. After the girls left to continue making their plan, Alexis received a text message from his father. Alejo says, Paula told me that you're not helping anything. Don't you understand that a hurricane is coming? Do you also think that this hurricane is going to pass through the island? Alexis says mockingly. Then Alejo says, how immature you are. Lock yourself in your room so you don't bother the girls. We'll see if it comes or not. Well, don't believe me, Alexis says again in a mocking way. The next day, around 5 in the morning, Hurricane George was in full swing. It was like a nightmare. There was rain, thunder, and lightning everywhere, a horrible setting for the island. Due to this great impact that the hurricane was causing, the community followed the recommendations of the authorities and the news and stayed in their homes. When the hurricane ended, Alexis left home quickly and arrived at the school, where he planned with his two friends, Juan and Damian, to rob the principal's room.
Guys, we have to make a plan.
What do you have in your mind?
I can't think of anything.
What can we steal in that room?
If we are going to go and rob that room, we must take revenge very hard.
We can steal the principal jewelry. Remember that she always leaves her jewelry in a tray on her desk.
No, we're really going to take revenge.
After they had everything planned, they went to the hallway where the director's room was, and by forcing the door with fuerza bruta, they managed to enter. Then quickly ran to the desks and stole a gold chain, a computer, trophies, among other things. After they were already finishing stealing, Alexis heard the siren of the police patrol and told his two friends,
Hey, be quiet. I just heard the siren in the police patrol. Let's go, hide. Yes, but where? Under the desk? Let's get it.
Alexis, Juan, and Damian hid under the desk, and when the sound of the siren of the police patrols was no longer heard, they came out of hiding. As there was nothing else to steal in the principal's room, they immediately left the room and closed it with another lock that they had carried so that there was no evidence of the robbery. After the robbery, Alexis went home as if nothing had happened. When he arrived, his family had not yet returned, and this worried him greatly. He changed his clothes, he ran to a forest near his house, and when he arrived, he couldn't believe what his eyes saw. A part of his heart was left lifeless. He saw an image that he will never be able to erase from his memory. Alexis found his father and his sisters lifeless on the ground. After Alexis regained consciousness, he heard police sirens approach him. It was too late to get away. That act is cowardly. El Chino remained on his knees with his heart broken into thousands of pieces, knowing that he no longer had anyone in his life. He did not have a mother who gave him unconditional love. He did not have a father who gave him advice and supported him in difficult times. He did not have responsible sisters who helped him become a better person, etc. All that remained for El Chino was loneliness and suffering, as he recognized that he had done things wrong all along. Furthermore, it was up to his conscience to remind him every day that if he was in the house at the time of the disaster, there were a high probability that he will save his family and everyone will be fine. Alexis did not measure his actions and did not adequately think about his repercussions. For this reason, he was unfortunately left alone for the rest of his life.
Por mi salud mental.
Y de
necesito
momento yo entro y digo esto.
¿Qué?
Nene, ¿dónde?
Lo veo bien feliz llevando a la escuela.
So that is just a small problem. I agree to Elena. ¿Tú qué? ¿Tú qué?